Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo master Nightfall run on the Inverted Spire with the Banshee weapons, unfortunately, and of course with Hunter. Alright Banshee, let's see what you got. Great, guess I'll use false promises, guess I'll use a rocket, and the last dance. All these weapons are not really good for Nightfalls. Wow, there's a bug. I can't even masterwork my auto rifle. Thank you, Banshee. Thank you for your high recommendations for this week. For my subclass, I'll be using bottom tree, Night Stalker. Fortunately, I'll be using false promises, last dance, bad almonds, helmet. I'll be using double rocket launcher, ammo finder, 5 recovery, and shield break charge. For the gauntlets, I'll be using unstoppable sidearm, cringy with anti-barrier auto rifle with the artifact mod, just like high energy fire but the rocket launcher version. Exotic, I'll be using the 6 coyote with 10 mobility, arc damage resistance, and taking charge. Next I'll be using the charge harvester with double rocket launcher scavenger and 10 recovery. Lastly, I'll be using charge up and sundering blast and 10 recovery. Alright guys, so the Inverted Spire with Banshee's weapons, and to be honest, the weapons I'm using are really bad. I don't recommend to use any of them. A lot of things has changed a little bit for this Nightfall. So during the first area, the blueberries don't spawn like last season or 2 seasons ago, where you can just let the blueberries do all your work and you can proceed to the area much faster. So in this version, you know, the Inverted Spire, for the season of this, you have to clear down all the ads and you have to proceed to the next level. You can't wait for the blueberries to do all your work, which I'm a bit sad because I actually did enjoy having blueberries, especially for grandmaster, to do all the dirty work. So it's very unfortunate, and I have tried to skip. I did try to go above the waterfall to see if I can just skip this and not waste time, because honestly around this part is really boring, and I always like to, you know, skip this part, or the blueberries kill the minions and I just spare my way and not waste time. So basically you would have to sparrow on the second teleporter. And I have tested out on Arcstrider, on Stasis, Hunter. But the problem of using the sparrow over here is you have to do it perfectly. If you don't do it perfectly, you will get sniped, and that mini gold bar cabal you see above from the left side, he will kill you. Of course, you can see I am on Night Stalker, so this is like the easy way. I had to switch 3 subclasses for this run because these weapons are so bad. They're horrendous, absolutely. I wanted just to make this work, just make it easier for myself, and just let you guys know I'm underleveled. Not too bad, as you know, we don't have sword icons, but still the ads, the champions are a little tanky, and it could be a little rough. Now let me just tell you this, that this run took me longer than a solo grandmaster. Yes, that's right. These weapons I'm using, they're so bad that I had no problem with the solo grandmaster with the meta weapons than using these crappy weapons that Banshee provided for this week. Now the only good thing I would say of using these weapons is the sidearm with Rangefinder. That's about it. And all the loading holster for the rocket. Now, in this area, 2 barrier champions, 1 unstoppable, and then there are 2 barrier champions and additional unstoppable at the bottom. Yes, so many champions in one room. And I'm trying my best to make this clean as possible with this weapon. And yeah, you're gonna see me using a lot of rockets in this video. And honestly, I don't really like using rockets unless it has Vulpa weapon. Then the rocket is amazing, but if it doesn't have Vulpa weapon, rockets, or tracking, then for me, for Nightfalls, I just think it's not so good. I'm trying my best not to be very blunt, especially of this loadout. I'm using a artifact mod for the rocket. Basically Rangefinder version, but a rocket. And it's okay. It's an okay artifact to get, you know, more percent DPS damage. But it's good when you are not under-leveled for Master version, but have not tried for Grandmaster. I have no idea how it would look like. But if I have to be really honest, I would just go for the breach and clear method for solo Grandmaster, especially for this one. Now I'm just trying to make all these effects to just take bait and do the minion work to take down this unstoppable champion. Now just to let you know, you must do a little tag, shoot it, because if you don't tag the champion, then it won't count as you killed it. So you won't get platinum if you don't tag the champions. Now at this bottom level, there's 2 barrier champions and 1 unstoppable. Now the barrier champion from behind is hiding. Highly recommend you be really careful with this one, because on Grandmaster, he can one-shot you. Now just bear with me of me using the auto rifle. I mean, this is the best thing I can do, especially using this horrendous weapon. Well, if the perks were good, this weapon is, you know, very good. I have used this weapon for Nightfalls, but with the perks it has, it's not really good. Now you can see I'm just trying to use a rocket. Trying to use the auto rifle and trying to quickly take it down and proceed to the next level. So yeah, and I'm just trying to scatter, look for rockets. And now I'll be dealing with another barrier champion. Yes, another one. Then later I'm gonna deal with more barrier champions and unstoppable. It just goes on and on for this Nightfall. Now be aware of this champion where he can shoot missiles and kill you if you're not careful. I was just being reckless because I got really fed up of using these weapons. And I'll be honest with you, this took me longer than a Grandmaster. A little frustrating, especially dealing with this sidearm. This sidearm I have is so bad. And if they say this weapon, the auto rifle I'm using, they say get it now if you don't have it, then they're definitely on Banshee drugs, because you can actually just get a better roll by just using the gunsmith parts, and then sooner or later you'll get a good roll. Now there are two barrier champions. I always kill two of them first, then unstoppable. Now the barrier champions are RNG for this part. They can all be together huddling up at the left side, or it could be huddling up at the right side. Or both of them are hugging together, cuddling with the unstoppable champion all together. So this part's super RNG. Now I have tried using stasis for this Nightfall, and it's okay, but I probably would use stasis probably when I'm maybe one artifact up, because sometimes when using stasis super, the tornado just moves somewhere else. Especially if the champion's far away and then there's a couple ads nearby, and the tornado can just say, nah, blitz. I'm just gonna clear down the ads, not the champion. If using stasis, be aware that the tornado stasis might just be lazy and not want to do DPS at the champion and just want to clear down the ads, which is not necessary to do. Well, unfortunately, we're not using a scout rifle. This would be perfect for a bow, scout rifle, but I'm using an auto rifle. Bear with me with this part, but I am taking my time here to try to kill this sniper. If I don't kill this sniper, then he's going to kill me when I'm jumping in the air. And yeah, best thing I can do to deal with that champion. Well, Scion. Now, I was just trying to see if these cabals will stop throwing grenades. They seem to behave a little different than the last time I revisit this Nightfall. Usually when you do stand, they don't throw grenades, but now they seem to throw, which made me a little sad. So I had to clear down these cabals where they were throwing grenades at me. Even though I'm far away, they can still throw pretty far distance. Now this part is probably the most annoying, where you have to use a rocket, break the shield with the auto rifle, and just pray for console recoil that it works. Because I know in PC version this would be, you know, no frustration, you know, easy peasy. But with the recoil of using submachine guns, auto rifles from far distance, it could be a little bit frustrating. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about this one where you have to take down these mini bosses, the Arc Cabal. So now we're just gonna do the method where we're just gonna do DPS with a sidearm, sadly, with a really bad one. Only good things are Rangefinder. Just wait for the shield to pop out. And just be patient. Yes, very patient. Yeah, this is very bad. I'm trying really hard not to be blunt in this video, but once you do take down the Arc Captain, then you will have to go to the opposite direction and use the power of this Banshee's recommendation, by the way. The Last Dance sidearm. Yep. Just don't forget, just break the shield with this wonderful, wonderful sidearm. I'm just really joking, this sidearm sucks. It tries to copy Last Hope, but Last Hope is still the best, and it's still better than The Last Dance, okay? I'm just being very, very honest with you guys. The Last Hope is better than this weapon. Now I'm just trying to make this boss or captain to stop shooting arc. Once I take him down, I am going to get the hell out of here because I want to proceed to the next section, and everything is taking so long because of this double primary weapons. And this part is probably the worst of all. I'll say second. Now this unstoppable champion can push you off from the room or the area. And I always try to kill him as soon as possible. So if I was Warlock, I would just kill him very, very quickly. Any strong weapon, especially using Will of the Horde or Anarchy, kill him right away because he will push you off the map. He will kill you. Of course, there are ways you can hide and avoid an attack, but sometimes they can see you. Now this area is a bit different, but first things first, the bigger champion, it can spawn from left and right. It's super RNG at this part because I've been doing test runs, and this champion is always from the left or right. It's so random. And I gotta kill these guys because they can kill me 2 hits. Yeah, don't mind me guys, just using a sidearm. Just using a sidearm. Making sure this barrier champion doesn't kill me with its apparent machine gun. It looks like he's holding it. Or maybe he's using his sweet business. I have no idea. When you do take down those 2 slicer ads, which I highly recommend, then you can do DPS at the boss. And then he'll be harmless as a fly-ish. Of course, if I was using meta weapons, you know, this would be a joke. But, you know, this is Banshee's recommendation, you know. He said, Blitz, this is all I can give you for this week. Just use this weapon, even though you can't masterwork it. Another thing I'd like to mention is this auto rifle I'm using, I can't masterwork it to make orbs. It's very frustrating because the build I'm using, I need to pick up orbs to get the higher energy fire rocket version. Now I'm just taking down all these barrels because they can kill me. An unstoppable champion will spawn. You might have to stagger him 2 times because there is a bug here. And this bug has always been there since the beginning of champions. They still haven't fixed it yet. It's still not fixed. Bungie, please fix it. You haven't fixed this part. And yeah, it can be very annoying. Another thing I noticed, these dogs can actually chase you. And when I mean chase you is when you are running around in circles, they can get you. I don't know why. It had never happened to me the last time I did the Inverted Spire, but for this season, they can run pretty fast, so I just go for plan B. I'm just gonna stand here. You can also do this on Titan Warlock. Of course, for Titan, to be honest, I don't even think you need to go over here. You could just run around in circles because a Titan jump is just so safe, especially from these dogs. But it could be because my mobility is low and my hunter is slow from running. So it could be that reason why the dogs can catch me. And I was just shocked, you know, I was just so shocked because I have died just running around in circles because the dogs were killing me. And this was when I was on stasis. Over here there are, I would say, 1 champion. And I'm trying to use the power of this sidearm, which Banshee recommend, by the way. He recommended for this week. And this weapon's horrible. So yeah, I'm just baiting this unstoppable champion. And when I do kill him, I take down this box. And I proceed to the next level, and I saw a heavy brick, so I turn invisible. I mean, why not, you know? And just skip these ads because they're not champions, so there's really no point of clearing them down if they are not champions. So especially over here, I don't think I cleared out all the ads up here. Just want to focus and bait the champion. Now I'm baiting the champion, and I had to go up on this platform because I did not want him to push towards me and push me off the map or to a wall where I can burn and die. We don't want that to happen, especially when using this bad sidearm. It'd be kinda embarrassing. Yeah, this may take some time. I mean, bear with me, man. I'm using a sidearm, a bad one. Okay, there we go. We got the unstoppable champion. Don't forget, guys, this is Banshee's recommendation set for this week. He said, Blitz, you gotta use this weapon. He recommend for all the players in the Destiny community for this week. There are one barrier champion. And I was about to make a joke right now, but I'll tell you guys later. So, over here, I would try to clear out all that because there is a scion. He can be dangerous because he can shoot a void, fire, and make you fly in the air, or he can miss you and you can accidentally go to his flame and die. So yeah, make sure you clear down all the ads. Or if you're using meta weapons, then of course, you know, shoot the anarchy as much as you can. So now there's going to be the last two champions. And I did not want to use my super. I didn't want to use my rocket, so I had to like be patient as possible to take down both of the champions. This part can be tricky because there's dogs, there's Vex, and the dogs can push towards you if you're not careful. So you will see that two dogs attack me because I was not being careful. Now if this was grandmaster version, I would have died. This would have been a wipe because they do one-shot you. Unless you have melee resistance, but I have not tested out. Now there are two rare champions up ahead. I was just waiting for one barrier champion to break the shield, and I can use the power of the sundering blast. It's very good for barrier and for unstoppable, but it's not really good for overload champions because there's a bug. Unless they fix it. I haven't read fully the TWAB yet, but if they did fix it, then it'll be good for overload champions. But if they haven't fixed the bug, then I wouldn't recommend using it on overload champions. Power of the auto rifle, and this auto rifle is really bad. My gosh, it's just taking me so long to deal with this bear champion. And I can't use my rocket, I have to save it for the boss. And that's another thing why I don't really like using rockets so much. I'm using a bad rocket, it's not really good. I mean, it's okay, I would say decent. Yeah, don't mind me guys, just using false promises. Banshee gave me false promises with this weapon. All these weapons I'm using, they're false. False advertisement. Now there's gonna be 3 harpies. We're at the boss room. Finally. Finally we're at the boss room and we can actually just clear down all these harpies. And actually do some DPS at the boss because honestly this run is taking way too long. Now I'm using my super and I kinda miss my tether, which it was my bad. So the boss will teleport depending how much DPS you do. I always try to melt the boss as much as I can so I can proceed to the second phase. And this part's super duper easy, especially when using a good DPS weapon, and we're using a rocket, which is perfect for this Nightfall, well, for the boss. So now I'm just reloading the rocket and just doing as much DPS as I can, because if you don't melt him at the second phase, he's going to have Vex spawning and they will kill you. We don't want that to happen. Now we're going to be at the third phase, and for some reason I'm having joining allies, so be careful with that. Because I had one time had that happen, and I don't know why, but his health regained back up. I think it was a bug, to be honest, so I start all over again when that happened. Because all that DPS, all those rockets was for nothing. But the boss fight is gonna be similar like a couple seasons ago. But the only difference is I'm using bad weapons. That's been recommended by Banshee, unfortunately. And I'm trying to do DPS so we can have a couple of ads to spawn. So Vex and Harpies will spawn, by the way. You can stand right here, you can pop a healing rift. Boss is super duper harmless. Just be aware that he can shoot. Be aware he can shoot and blind you. So I would be a little bit cautious. And to be honest, I was just being reckless at this part. I just wanted this Nightfall to be done because I was just fed up of using this sidearm, especially at this boss fight. I mean, look at this. I'm trying to use this sidearm far away from this heartbeat to break the shield. Then I have to switch to an auto rifle to kill it because the sidearm is just sometimes doesn't hit the heartbeat well. Well, from far away because the range is so awful. Now I was just scouting because I just want to make sure all the ads are clear so nothing bad happens to me. And at the same time I was just waiting for my super. Another thing I like to mention is this rock is it's not good. Volvo weapon will make this boss a joke. And just to let you guys know, I'm using boss spec. Even with boss spec, even with the higher G rocket version artifact, it still doesn't do enough DPS damage. But then again, I'm under level for master version, so might have to test it again, but with a better rocket, you know? Now, depending how much DPS you do, then there'll be a second wave of ads. And of course, the boss will be walking around. He's not going to be standing still. For some reason, the boss just likes to walk around in this part. I remember back in the day, he didn't move a lot. He just stands still. But now he just walks a bit. And it could be a bit annoying. But the most biggest threat is the harpies. It's a little frustrating because I'm trying to kill the harpies, but the sidearm was just not working out at far away range. So I had to turn invisible, go to close range to kill them. Well, to break the shield. And I still didn't kill the harpies. Like, this sidearm is not working out too well. You can see there I was just trying to use the sidearm to kill it without the auto rifle, and it didn't really work out too well. So this part can be a bit different. It's the same thing as other Nightfall, etc. But once you do take down the goblins, the Vex, then you can use your super, the melt, to melt the boss. Now the boss will go crazy, and he will try his best to kill you. So at this part, I always try to kill him very quickly, because not only he will follow you and shoot arc at you and try to stomp you for his life, there will be another wave of ads, harpies, Vex, etc. And it can be very dangerous. So I always try to melt him at the third phase, or as much as I can, and that's why I always highly recommend to save your super. So you can use Nova Bomb, Chaos Reach, Titan Bubble with a good DPS weapon. You're probably wondering why I'm taking so long. Well, this rocket doesn't have a tracking, and this boss seems to move a lot here and there. So I was just trying to wait for him to try to blind me so he can stand still and I can use my rocket. But it wasn't really working out too well. He was just being very random in this video. And you can see he dodged my rocket, which upset me a bit. And I was just trying to use as much rockets as I can, then I decided to just use my super instead, and I didn't miss one shot. So I used my rocket again, and finally kill him, and I accidentally turned invisible, just in case my rocket missed. So it was like a big guess for me if the rocket was going to hit the boss or not, which is why I highly recommend to have tracking on the rocket. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. These weapons are bad. If you guys are thinking of getting these weapons, I don't recommend it. Banshee is scamming you for this week.